Okay, for number 4, we're going to reduce 4x squared minus 25 over 6x to a third power minus 15x squared minus 14x plus 35. Okay, factor the top, factor the bottom, cancel out the common factors, right? Okay, so on the top, we notice that we have two terms, right? And also, we don't have a common factor for the 4 or the 25. But since this is just a two-term situation, we should use one of the formula. And especially, we notice that this is a square, so we should use the difference of two squares formula, right? So for this one, let's write it down as something to the second power minus something to the second power. Here, originally, we have this 4. What should I put down instead of the parentheses so that something to the second power, we get 4? We need 2, right? So let's put down 2 right here. And then to get x squared, we have to just put down x. And now for the 25 in here, we know we have to have the 5. 5 squared is 25. And now this right here, the factoring for it is just going to be 2x minus 5 times 2x plus 5. A minus b times a plus b, just like that. On the bottom, we have a total of 4 terms. And if you notice, there's no common factor for all the 4 terms. But it's okay, because we can do this by grouping. And that's a good strategy whenever we have 4 terms, right? Okay, so let's look at the first 2 and also the second 2 like this. So for the first 2, what can we factor out? Well, for the number-wise, we have 6 here and 15 here. We can take out 3 first, right? So let's do that. And for the variable, this is x to a third power, this is x squared, so we can factor out x squared. And now let's look for the leftover. Originally, we had the 6 here. You can think about 6 divided by 3, we will have 2, okay? And originally, we had x to a third power, but we factor out the x squared, so we have 1 more left. So this is x to the first power. And then we continue. This is minus 15. We factor out 3. You can think about this as 15 divided by 3. And we'll end up with a 5. And the x squared is out already. So this is what we have. Okay? And I will recommend you guys, if you want to do this, you can always distribute. And you can always make sure if you're doing this right or not. 3x squared times 2x, we do get the 6x to a third power. And 3x squared times negative 5, we do get the negative 15x squared back. Okay? Next, because this is the grouping situation, and we do have the minus here, right? Be sure you put down the minus right away. You always have to maintain this sign, regardless if it's a plus or minus. Always write it down, okay? And now let's look for the 14 and also the 35. What can we factor out? For the number-wise, we can factor out a 7. So let's put that down. And this has x, but this one doesn't have x. So we cannot factor out any variables. So we'll open the parentheses now. This right here was originally negative 14x. But we factored out a negative 7. We factored out a negative 7. So you can think about this as negative 14 divided by negative 7. We do get the 2, right? And of course, we have the x right here. And to continue, here is positive 35. And we divide it by negative 7. So we end up with negative 5. Real quick, distribute it back. Negative 7 times 2x, we have the negative 14x. Negative 7 times negative 5, like this. We will have the positive 35 back. All right? Not done yet because this and that, they are the same. We can factor it out, so let's put that in the front. 2x minus 5, and then the second parentheses, it will be the leftover, which is the 3x squared, and we have this minus, and then we have this 7. So this is pretty much it for the factoring. Even though right here it's a difference, and you see the x to a second power, but this and that, we cannot break it down into a perfect square like that. Right, 7 is not like something to the second power if you want to use whole numbers only. So we'll just leave this as how it is. So this is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at on the top and on the bottom, right? Notice that we have the 2x minus 5. That's the same as this 2x minus 5, so we can cancel them out. Finally, the answer is what? We see on the top we'll have 2x plus 5. And on the bottom we have this. 3x squared minus 7. and this is the most that we can do. This right here will be the answer, okay? And you'll see how important it is to know how to factor really, really well. The two-term situation and also the four-term situation, all the factoring techniques. Anyway, that's it.